tonight's practice will be focused a lot on the heart. We're clearing the energy centers or the rivers of energy across the heart. I just did the practice with one of my teachers, right? And I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys. Obviously, I have a blanket on my mat, right? The bolster is not needed right now, so I'll just put that over here. So I just have like one of the studio blankets folded like this, right? So it's probably about maybe 3 inches high, and that's going to go up along my spine, right? And it's about that width. And then I have another blanket at the top for my head, and that's just kind of rolled, but you can do that any way you want when you get there, right? So it's kind of like it's like a T shape. And then you want to make sure that your sit bones are on the earth. And then there's just going to be just a very gentle lift under the lower back. And then the spine kind of is supported by the blanket, and then the kind of ligaments on either side of the spine just kind of cascade down. And then you just move your blanket under the head. And just finding a comfortable position where you can stay a while, and you can have the ankles a bit wider than the hips if that feels steady. So the legs are straight, but any distance from the hips is fine. And then arms beside the body, palms facing up towards the sky. So that's where we're going to start. My sit bones are on the earth, and so the blanket is just touching the sacrum, and I come down like this. Arms beside the body, palms facing up towards the sky. So you're just feeling a gentle lift across the chest, the upper body, and see if you can just find that center of balance. You can have the ankles wider than the hips. That can balance you a little bit. And the arms can be a little bit wider as well if that feels good. And if you're feeling a little bit off balance, you can just widen the ankles a little bit, wider than the hips. So let's lengthen the back of the neck. And you can do that by just turning or bringing the chin down a little bit towards the throat and then back towards the ears. Right, so just feeling the length, the back of the neck, releasing the jaw, shoulders down and back. If you like, you can kind of just bring the shoulder blades together a little bit, widening the curtains of the heart, feeling the broadening across the chest. Arms beside the body, palms facing up towards the sky. And feeling any softness in the belly that's available to you right now. And just bringing your awareness to the belly. And then feeling the sit bones steady, level on the earth, and the legs are long. So let's start by bringing our attention to any sensations in the body. Noticing any areas that are kind of tight right now. There might be some gripping. Noticing any sensations, any pulsations, any areas that are calling out to you. And moving our attention to the emotional body, and just checking in how you're feeling this evening. And remembering there can be a whole array of different conflicting emotions. And there could be gratitude for being here, but also maybe some heartbreak or sadness. So just making space for that whole array of emotions. In many ways, these are gifts of the practice that we get to work with. And so just acknowledging them and welcoming them. And then moving up the body towards the head, the mental body. And just noticing how the mind feels tonight. And sometimes our thoughts can be very fast. It can feel rather overwhelming. And other times we can feel relaxed and the thoughts are slower with gaps in between the thoughts. So just observing what's the condition in the mental body. Welcoming all these unique gifts, right? These are unique in terms of the mixture, the combination, that all the different dimensions of the body bring to the practice tonight. It's such a unique experience in this present moment. And then let's bring the palms of the hands to the belly. You can keep the elbows on the earth so the hands can be just on the sides of the belly if that feels comfortable. So they're just kind of below the navel. Or if it's too much of a stretch, you can have the hands on the navel. So tuning into the breath. And then let's take a gentle inhale through the nose. Feel the belly rise into the hands. And then as you exhale out the nose or out the mouth, feel the belly release in towards the spine. Inhaling through the nose with ease. Feel the belly rise into the hands. And then exhaling out the mouth or out the nose. Feel the belly soften and release in towards the spine. Okay, so I'll guide you through one more cycle here. Inhaling through the nose with ease, feeling the belly rise into the hands. And then as you exhale, feel the belly soften all the way in towards the spine. And then exhaling into the moment after exhale. On the next exhale, if it feels good, you can open the mouth. And just exhale, releasing the congestion. Last cycle on the belly. And then let's bring the hands to the side body. Elbows touching the earth again. And just gently cupping the side body. And let's start by inhaling into the belly and then continuing into the side ribs. Feeling them expand into the hands. And then exhaling out the mouth. Exhaling into the pause at the base of the exhale. On the inhale, feeling the ribs move up and out very gently into the hands. And then as you exhale out the mouth or out the nose, just feel the ribs gently move in and down. Feeling the peace or the relaxation starting to emerge. And if you can feel that, just welcome that. If you're still busy in the mind or kind of stuck in the day that just ended, just no problem. Just bring your attention back to the breath. Just inviting the body to arrive. Okay, so last round on the side body. And then let's bring the palms of the hands to the upper chest. Elbows on the earth. You can have the palms a little bit wider, just below the collarbones here. And so now inhaling belly, side ribs, mid back, upper back, and into the upper chest. And then let's open the mouth wide and exhale the breath out. Inhaling belly, side ribs, mid back, upper back, and into the upper chest. And then exhale, opening the mouth, exhaling down the central line of the body into the pelvic floor. Okay, so this is the full expression of the breath, the three-part yogic breath. Inhaling belly, side ribs, mid back, upper back, and into the upper chest. And then opening the mouth wide, long, melting exhale all the way down the body and into the pelvic floor and into the emptiness at the base of the exhale. And then last breath. And then returning the arms beside the body, palms facing up towards the sky. So we're going to be working with the heart tonight. And if there's any intention related to the heart, obviously around love or joy or peace or harmony. Maybe you'd just like to wish for more of that in your life, or maybe you'd like to dedicate the practice to the peace of somebody else, wishing them peace. So if you'd like to set an intention, let's do that together with the sound of Om. Inhaling for Om. And then let's bend the knees, soles of the feet on the earth, and let's just roll over onto the left side if there's no injuries, or you can roll to the right side. And then pressing the palm into the earth, coming up to seated. And so let's move that blanket out of the way. And let's keep the blanket, one blanket for under the head, right? So for me, it's going to look something like this. I'm just going to have that under my head. And we're going to come, so my head is on the blanket, and I'm just going to come over to the right side. If you have any lower back issues, please keep a bolster or a blanket just in front of the knees, right? So we're going to roll over onto the left side. My knees are stacked, my ankles are stacked, and my head is on the blanket, and I'm sandwiching the arms, right? So the right palm is on top of the left. Okay, so I'm just going to, on the inhale, I'm just going to start to lift that right hand up, and just bring it back as much as comfortable, so you feel a stretch across that upper arm, across that right chest, and allow the hand to hover. All right, so this is the heart energy channel. Right? And then let's just bring it down one more time. Now moving very slowly. We're going to do this again. Right hand returns on top of left. And this time moving even more slowly, just gazing at the fingers as the hand moves over the head and behind. Just inviting that arm to hover. And then straightening the arm to go a little bit deeper if that feels good. And then inhaling back to center very slowly. Okay. And so now we're just going to make a semicircle with that right hand, right? So we're just going to bring that hand overhead, and then the back of the hand touches the earth. Wherever it touches, you can straighten that right hand to go deeper, or you can keep a bend in the elbow. And then just tracing that semicircle hand or the semicircle back to center. And let's just do that one more time. So you can trail the fingers across the earth and then straightening the arm if that feels good. So the palm of the right hand is just reaching up towards the sky. And so we're just activating the part of the body here where the heart energy runs. And then coming back to center one more time. Right. And so this is the last time we're going to do it, right? So we're going to do that semicircular movement again. And then, so my elbow is in line with the top of my head and my arm is straight, okay? And now I'm just going to bring the right shoulder onto the earth, or as much as possible. It's okay to have the right shoulder just hovering, but my right arm is as straight as possible. And I'm feeling the sensation down that right arm into the chest. And from here, we're going to move into a twist. So if you have any back issues, you can just place that cushion in between the legs, or you can keep the legs here. Or to go deeper, you can cross the legs over and bring the knees up towards the chest. And then gazing over that left shoulder with the head. Right, so this is a rather deep opening in that right upper arm, across that right shoulder, across that right chest. And of course, you're also feeling it in the lower body. You have this like very nice opening down the right side of the body. You might be feeling it in the right upper hip or the right IT band. Right, so the position of the legs here will help you go deeper or back off, right? So to back off, the knees will be in line with the hips. To go a little bit deeper, we just tuck the pelvis and move the knees up towards that left armpit as much as possible. And you can place that left hand on the outer right knee. And so just dropping into the opening across that, the heart energy center. If this is too much on the arm, you can place a blanket underneath that right arm. And that will take the pressure off the opening in the arm. And so there's kind of what I would call a light to moderate achiness here. So we're going to do some energy work here. Let's bring our attention to the heart center. Okay, into the center of the heart. Just bring your mind's eye there. Okay, so we're going to inhale into the heart and exhale down that right arm and into the palm of the right hand. Okay, so we're going to do that again. Inhaling into the heart and exhaling golden sunlight across the right chest, down the right arm, and this time into that baby finger, that pinky finger, right? That's where the heart channel is. So as you do this, if you're a visual person, you can imagine sunlight, golden energy, helping to clear any blockages along this part of the body. So the breath is gentle here. And just noticing it might be a little bit of constriction in the belly, it might be difficult to breathe. And just noticing that and adjusting the breath so that you can just get enough air into the body. Okay, so just 2 more breaths here. If you like, you can breathe golden sunlight into the heart. Exhaling it down that right arm into the pinky finger. Let's do 1 more like that. Inhaling into the heart and down that heart energy line, down the right arm and into the baby finger. And then just 1 more breath in your own time. And then on the inhale, let's bring that head back to center. And then slowly unwinding the legs, very slowly bringing the sole of the right foot to the earth. Bringing the hips back to center. If your lower back is sensitive, you can keep the knees bent. Otherwise, let's come to pentacle pose, right? The legs are wide on the earth and the arms are beside the body, wide as well, right? So the legs and arms are wider than they are in Shavasana. And just drop into the rebound, right? So feeling the flow or the sensation of energy moving along the right side of the body. It might feel like a minty coolness or like a gentle wind blowing. And see if any of that resonates with you, right? So when we do this work, we get to attune our awareness, right? We get to build, we get to, I guess, generate more awareness of the subtle body, right? So what you are experiencing now is the flow of fresh energy from the heart. So releasing any physical blockages, emotional blockages, and energetic blockages. You might be feeling a sense of heaviness in that, the right arm or the right side body. And just noticing that for 2 more breaths here. And then let's all take a melting, cleansing breath together. Let's inhale through the nose, down into the belly. And then exhale, open the mouth. And then if you need more time to acclimatize, if your heart energy is stagnant, you might feel the urge to stay here for another bit. Now, please do listen to that. Otherwise, you can move to the other side, and I'm just going to change my position so you can see me. Again, having that blanket under the head, the knees are stacked, and the elbows are stacked. So left hand on top this time. And then inhale that left arm very slowly up towards the sky, and just keeping the head gazing ahead, and just allowing that arm to hover where you feel kind of a light to moderate sensation. No need to overdo it here, right? So we're just starting to activate the upper arm, the shoulder and the front of the chest, and then coming back to center, moving slowly and gazing at the fingertips as you return the hands. And then let's do that again, this time moving a little bit more slower. more slow. And then this time you might like to straighten the arm, which will intensify the sensation. You might go a little bit further and just hovering the arm. The palm of the left hand is just facing up towards the sky. Returning to your breath. And then gently coming back to center. And this time we're just going to make that semicircle with that left hand. You can just gently touch the earth behind you with the fingertips, and then straightening that left arm as much as possible. And still keeping the head gazing ahead, gazing straight ahead over that right fingertips. You might notice this is your tighter side, or it might be your more fluid side. And then gently bringing the fingertips back, touching that right palm. And let's do that again. Gentle semicircle with the arm, fingertips draping the earth if it's available. And then this time, see if you can straighten that left arm just a little bit more. Straightening that elbow, just feeling the kind of tugging sensation. Taking a breath. And then from here, we're going to move into our twist, right? You can keep the arm where it is, and then move that left shoulder down towards the earth. And so that left arm is kind of straight, kind of parallel to the mat, if that feels comfortable. Or you might like to bend the elbow to take some of the intensity out. And it's okay if that left shoulder is off the earth a little bit. And then taking care of the legs, again, putting that blanket in between if you have any lower back issues, or if you'd like to go deeper into the twist, you can cross the legs, and keeping the legs parallel to the pelvis will be kind of a moderate way to come in, and then bringing the knees up towards that right armpit will intensify the twist. Right, so again, just a moderate sensation here. You're feeling it perhaps in that left outer thigh, that left hip, the left side body, across that left upper chest, the left upper arm, and maybe the lower arm. And then let's gaze over the right shoulder. Okay, so the straighter that left arm is overhead, the more you'll feel this. And again, if that left arm is uncomfortable, you can place a blanket under the arm, making it more restorative. And then dropping into the pose, making sure that the twist in the lower body is not too intense, right? So we want to just relax into the shape and just allow the body to do the work here. Okay? We're gently pulling on that connective tissue where you're feeling the sensation. And then if you'd like to join me in some energy medicine, we can just bring your attention to the heart and the center of the chest. And then, like as if we're inhaling golden sunshine into the heart, exhaling it across that left shoulder or that left chest, down the upper arm and down into the pinky finger. And just circulating the breath there. And then inhaling into the heart one more time. Golden healing energy from the sun. And then exhaling it right down that arm and into the pinky finger. Right, so the pinky finger is where the heart meridian starts. You might start to notice the achiness along the heart line. Again, if it's too much, you can just bring the elbow down a bit and coming into a less of a twist. And so if that energy medicine felt good to you, you can please continue that. I know some people are more visual than others. Dropping into the breath here. You can breathe in and out the nose with the lips gently sealed. Okay. So last 3-4 breaths here. And then when you're ready, moving very slowly and crossing the legs, turning the soles of both feet to the earth. Now moving very slowly here, right? Because we were also in a spinal twist. And then bringing the chin in line with the pelvis, belly button. And then let's straighten the legs down, coming to pentacle pose. So legs wider than the mat, arms wider than the mat, and just lengthening the back of the neck. If your lower back is super sensitive, it's okay if there's a little ache. If your lower back is super sensitive though, and you feel as if it's too much, you can bend the knees, soles of the feet on the earth. Otherwise, just dropping into the rebound, right? So this is like a, excuse me, a shower of fresh chi, energy, prana, rinsing through that left side of the body. Notice if you can feel that. If you'd like to stay here in the rebound pose for a little bit longer, your body might be signaling to you that there's still some harmonizing that needs to be done with the flow of energy. And if you feel that, please stay there. And then everybody else, let's just bend the knees. We're going to come into happy baby pose. So we're going to bend the knees, soles of the feet up towards the sky. And you can clasp the hands on the outer feet, the inner feet, the ankles, the shins, or the knees, right? So depending on how your body has showed up for you tonight, right? All those different conditions that we investigated earlier. So just honoring the body here, feeling the lower back widen on the earth. And you can also have the hands, palms of the hands on the feet, fingers facing the heels if that feels good. So feeling these sensations here, backs of the thighs, groin, inner thighs, lower back. Also feeling it in the arms. So let's lengthen the back of the neck and just moving the chin down a bit towards the throat and back towards the ears. Widening across the heart center. And dropping into the breath. So if you need to back off at any point, you can do that with the arms or the hands. The hands will help you back off. Right, so here we're balancing the heart energy with kidney activation pose, right? So the heart energy is about fire, right? Some of you may have noticed some heat in the upper body. And the kidney energy is cooling, right? So this is a therapeutic sequence. You could just do these two poses together. You could do the twist followed by happy baby. So we're targeting the kidney channel in the inner thighs here. If you feel the need to do a sigh like I just do, please be my guest. And just inviting the body to release with any sighs or ahs that feel good. And again, if you need to back off, just move the hands, ankles, shins. Okay, last 3 breaths here. Let's inhale through the nose, down into the belly. And then exhale, open the mouth. Let's do that again. Inhaling through the nose, down into the belly. And then exhale, open the mouth. And then let's gently release the knees back together. Hands on the outside of the shin, or the outside of the knees. And let's just bring the knees over the hips to begin with. Feeling the lower back on the earth. And then when you're ready, you can clasp your hands around the knees, gently squeezing the knees in towards the chest. And see if you can let go of the legs completely. Just allow the arms to do the work here. Softening all the muscles on the face. Releasing all expression. And then releasing the soles of the feet to the earth. And then from here, we're just going to turn over onto the belly, coming into Sphinx, right? So we're still working with the kidney energy here, which is going to cool the heart energy that we just activated. And so coming to just clasping the opposite elbows, just getting a good foundation here, right? So visualize that Sphinx pose. You're going to hold up Sphinx pose with the bone, with Sphinx pose with the bones, right? So elbows underneath the shoulders. You can have the hands clasped, or you can have the palms facing down. Right, so you want to relax the flesh on the shoulders, the upper back, and then just a gentle lift in the heart center, just a tiny lift. You can, if you have props that are high enough, you can rest the head. You can turn the head in. Otherwise, you can just keep the head in line with the spine. So we're going to start with the legs straight. You want to feel just a light sensation in the back. Let's just start by just widening the legs a little bit. Okay, and as we do that, we'll start to feel the sensation in the lower back accentuated. Right? If that's too much, you can just bring the legs back to straight. Okay, so just widening the legs. Just feeling the sensation in the lower back. And again, we don't want to go over kind of a light, moderate sensation there, right? This is we're just cultivating the kidney chi here. And we just need just a sensation, right? This is not an active back bend. And then once you have the legs in the position that suits your conditions tonight, let's see if you can relax the buttocks, right? So just relaxing the buttocks here. And if you relax the buttocks and your lower back is hurting you, you can bring the legs back to center. And if your lower back is still hurting you, or there's some injury there, you can also activate the glutes, activate the buttocks. That will take the pressure off the lower back. And if you feel as if you would like more of a sensation in the lower back, and that might be the case if you have a very active back bend practice in yoga, or an advanced back bend practice in active yoga, you can come up to seal, which is the full expression of the pose. You can turn the palms out slightly, and the arms are holding the body up. Okay, so softening around the jaw, the tiny muscles around the mouth. Softening the lips. Okay, so just 3 more breaths here. And then after your last breath, let's bring the head to the earth. You can have one palm on top of the other, allow the forehead to rest, or you can turn the head to one side. Dropping the belly into your mat. And see if you can completely let go here. Right? Kidney chi is helps us ground. It also helps us reduce fear, dropping all, gripping, activation, just letting go into the mat. And then turning the head the opposite direction. Okay. Last 2 breaths here. And we're going to come back onto the elbows. And we're going to just cross that left elbow or that left arm under the right. Okay, so we're going to start as we did in Sphinx and keep that left forearm on the earth. And then we're just going to cross that right arm under. Right, and then you can just turn the palm up towards the sky and see if you can straighten that left arm down, or ahead rather, and you can have the head on the earth. And see if you can just get an extra inch on that. Scoot that right hand forward, like just 1/2 inch. And you can bend that left forearm. You can put the head on the forearm if that feels more comfortable, or you can keep that left arm out in front, which will give you a wider opening across the back of that right shoulder, right? So the back of the heart center. Again, the legs are just relaxed behind you, and the target tissue here is across the shoulders, particularly the right one. And you might be feeling it again in the upper arm, the left upper arm. And see if you can just relax into the shape. If this is activating any shoulder injuries, you can back off. You can just come up onto one elbow like this and see how that feels. Or you can place a bolster underneath the chest, and that will take the pressure off the shoulders for you. Okay, so as you inhale, right, so inhaling into the heart at the front of the body. And then as you exhale, exhale out the back of the heart, across the shoulder blades. All right, so feel the widening, the back of the heart as you exhale. So just another 5 breaths here. And then when you're ready, let's just bring that right arm in. You can take a moment. You can place one palm on top of the other, or just turn the head to one side. Just dropping into the mat. And see if you can feel any sensations, any heat in the upper body. Or a sense of spaciousness across the shoulders. Then let's turn the head the opposite direction if it's turned. And let's come up back into our Sphinx pose. Okay, so this time we're going to keep that right forearm on the earth, and then we're just going to scoot that left arm under with the palm facing up towards the sky. And then just see if you can get an extra ½ inch scooting that arm over, and then you can straighten that right arm out in front, palm facing down, or you can just bend that forearm, that right forearm forward onto the arm. Just noticing which head position is good for you. And then just kind of relaxing into the shape, feel the broadening across the shoulder blades, particularly on that left side, although it depends where you're holding your tension. You may also feel sensation in that right arm. So the breath is very soft and kind here. We are being very gentle. So therapeutically, what we're doing tonight is balancing the heart energy. And when the heart energy is balanced, we are full of vitality. We can feel joy, inner peace, and harmony, right? All that stuff that we seek. And then when the heart energy is in balance, and that could be just physical tension, emotional tension, energetic tension, we can feel sadness, joylessness, and depression. Right? So doing this upper body work is very therapeutic for cultivating these emotions that help us become more resilient. Right? We've all been through a lot in the last 6 months, about 6 months, on top of the everyday challenges of life. So this type of work has been a lifeline for me. Okay, and one of the qualities of free-flowing heart energy is joy. And joy is available when you have a moment when nothing else is missing, right? It's a moment where you're not dependent on anything or anyone, right? So happiness in many ways seems to be dependent on getting a thing or being with that person, or whereas joy is not dependent on anything. It's just kind of this moment of there's nothing missing right now, and I don't need anything to be joyful, to be full of vitality. And so may we all feel the sweetness of joy in our lives. Okay, last 2 breaths here. And then releasing, bringing the head to the earth. And may we feel the sweetness of joy in our lives. May we feel the sweetness of joy in our lives. Okay, so you have a choice here. You can, if you feel like a long Shavasana, you can move into Shavasana, or you can join me in a forward fold, which would be caterpillar. And we're just going to be here for a few minutes, but some of you may like to just decompress the spine before moving into Shavasana, but you can do Shavasana right now if that feels good. So just coming up on a blanket, right? So hips on the blanket, moving the flesh of the buttocks back, the legs are straight. And just let go of any activation of the feet. And then we're just going to inhale through the crown of the head and exhale, coming forward. You can have palms of the hands beside the knees or the calves. Or for some of you, you might be able to clasp the feet and just gently relaxing the hands on the feet, providing gentle traction on the spine. And then some of you may be just arms, holding arms beside the knees or fingertips beside the knees. If your knees are uncomfortable here, you can place an item of clothing underneath the knees or a blanket. And you can keep the head in line with the spine, or if you do not have any neck issues, you can turn the head in. So just feeling the lengthening of either side of the spine, and feeling the broadening across the back of the heart and the shoulders. If you need to back off at any point, you can just lift the head, and just honoring the conditions of your body tonight. Softening the jaw. Okay, so just 5 more breaths here. Honoring where you are. If you need to back off, you can lift the head. And then returning the hands to the earth. And this time just up to straight spine. And you have a choice here. You can just move into a seated meditation, ending your practice that way, or you can come lying on your back into savasana. If you're coming to seated meditation, just moving the flesh of the buttocks back. And again, respecting your body. If you're exhausted, please come lying on your back and bending the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around the knees. Gently squeezing the knees in and feeling the lower back broaden on the earth. And rolling over to one side. Pressing the palm into the earth and coming up to seated. And so please move the flesh of the buttocks back, coming onto the sit bones and feeling when you do that, feeling the kind of rising up of the spine. And then let's just kind of move the shoulders down and back. And just allowing that heart energy that we spent time activating, just allow that to kind of radiate up towards the sky, and then moving the chin back just a tiny bit. Right? So broadening across the collarbones, the heart. And then let's bring the right hand onto the heart center and the left hand on top. And if you set an intention tonight, please bring that to mind. And let's set that intention out to the universe together, where everything is taken care of in its own time and way. And let's do that with the sound of inhaling for Hands to prayer, thumbs to third eye. And let's bow to each other, the practice, and our teachers. Namaste.